Right there. In this video, we're going to look at ICP. It has an amazing week. So we'll look at where the bulls and bears are battling around, whether there are any bull trap, bear traps, and also whether there are any whales footprints. As usual, okay? These are education content only, not financial advice. Let's start with the daily chart of ICP and take a look at this amazing week. Okay, we see it once again, much higher than average volume. However, okay, we also see these reds. The thing is, I'm not too worried about the red as of this moment, because if we look at the candlesticks, they are not actually of a long body. That means a lot of trading happened, especially 2 days ago. But basically the bulls and bears are of equal strength. Today, however, is more indicative. This long wick from above the downtrend ceiling, okay, this blue line over here, is what's going to haunt ICP's price for a while. Okay, look at what happened back in January. The price surged with crazy volume, even crazier than what we have now, okay? But then subsequently, it also has high red volume bar, plus this wick right at the ceiling of the downtrend. Okay, so this downtrend kind of started around July last year. Very similar to other altcoins. However, it's not that pessimistic. It's a good sign that it comes to challenge the ceiling, because when was the last time they came to challenge the ceiling? It was back in mid-January. Okay, 4 months, almost 4 months ago. So it has to come up to test it. And then, when you test it enough, the whales, they see the demand. Eventually, the price will get outside of the downtrend. That's the thing we have been trying to see happen for ICP. Okay, it has been finding support above the red line, the $2.05. That's the level set by the tariff announcement date last year in October 10th, October on the 10th. And after that, it has tested this level twice in February, and then stayed at a higher support level, around 22 cents 40. Okay, so let's move this line, because what I see here is a higher and higher low. Okay, you see 3 lows over here, one higher than the other. That's why I want to keep this line over here. Even if the price of ICP comes back down, okay, we want to see whether it's going to stay above this yellow line. Best if it stays even higher, okay? We've got the 2.8 orange key level, the 3.45 yellow key level. Best if the price stays above this. But this crazy surge of volume, whether it's going to sustain or is it going to die down like what it did in the beginning of the year, the second scenario is more likely, unless we have very good news coming in, okay, including the economic data of the U.S. and the war, whatever that's affecting the sentiments of people. So if it managed to stay above those lines, what are the dates that we get a potential confirmation that the downtrend is going to get over that long-term downtrend? Okay, the first is 22nd of June. That's the ceiling, downtrend ceiling against the yellow key level. The other one against the orange, that's way deeper into the year. That's around the 5th of September. All right, right over here. So it's still early for this. We definitely hope to see this happen. Okay, because if you're new to this method, basically the decision point tells us only one of the two options. One, it breaks the ceiling of the downtrend, meaning confirming the downtrend is over. But that doesn't mean it turns to an uptrend immediately. Sometimes it can just trade sideways for a prolonged period for some time if the macro environment doesn't help. The other option, if it doesn't break, okay, if it gets rejected, it's going to break the support because there are only two lines you can get through, either the one at the top or the one at the bottom. Okay, if that happens, that means the downtrend, the mega downtrend, the long-term downtrend that we're coming to a year mark is continuing. Okay, and then we have to look at the next levels or the next potential timing that the breakout would happen. So there's another intermediate level over here. So might as well draw the line over here. That's why you see this intermediate pause when the price get to this point, because of these activities that happens since last year. Okay, so this line may take effect as well. So between June and September, there's one in late July. But when we get closer to that date, we'll take a look at it again. So this is the I would say the boundaries where the bulls and bears are fighting. This is definitely a bull trap. If some people tracking the same thing, they may think, okay, it's breaking above a trend and it is going to turn this way. And the bears tells you, okay, or the whales is going to shoot you down. Somebody are definitely sitting at a loss right now. From the $4 level down to where we are now is a 13 to 14% drop already. So if you haven't gone in when the price initially surged, and those people gone in at those range after breaking like 3.45, they gone in. It's not too bad that you gone in right there. You may still be able to get out level, but if you've gone in, looking at some other levels, like over here, you see some tops. Some people would have gone in around 3.7. Especially this is where the previous candle stopped, right? That's where those people got trapped. Okay, now the bigger picture, the weekly view, ICP. Okay, this week finally we're seeing a potential run to a sign of strength, but not too early. Okay, remember I said there are at least two conditions. The first one, challenge the previous automatic rally level, which it got very close. But the second criteria, higher than average volume, sustained higher than average volume. We only see one bar. So it's marginally meeting that requirement. We want to see another bar, another week. Okay? Stay in trading at this level. Then I would consider this is a sign of strength. But that doesn't mean that the accumulation period or accumulation cycle is over. Look at what happened here. Back in July, it had a sign of strength, but then it dropped further down. It had a spring, a quick FOMO, and then the price died down again. Same thing over here. After the automatic rally, kind of a weak sign of strength over there. That's why I say, look at the volume. It's not anything that's higher than average, just average. And then it died down before it goes up. All right, so that's the case for ICP. Remember, you can find my dashboards on Substack as well at SLMs that handle. See you in the next video. Thank you.